Hi, my name is Nicholas Corey, and you are on my blog Experience Points. It's been a long time since I've done an update, and at least an update of any real substance, and let alone a video update. So here's my attempt at doing both. Yeah. In the past, my video updates have centered around three major topics, and those were my work in the independent tabletop gaming venue or independent tabletop gaming scene, my strides to become an English teacher at the high school and college level, and then just recent events or situations of note in my life. But I'm actually going to take a different approach to my video posts. Now they're going to still center around my work in the tabletop gaming industry as an independent tabletop game designer. But they're also going to focus more on my works of published fiction and serialized fiction, of which has kind of taken an uptick recently. It has been a big reason for why the blog has seen little use in the recent months, or recent weeks. I'm trying to remember my last post. I think it was a couple weeks ago. Anyway, so those are going to be the two biggest focuses of this blog, and then I might also talk about a couple other things that are going on in my life, stuff like if I'm doing another play or anything like that. But really, it's going to be focused on tabletop game design and writing fiction. So let's go ahead and get started. As far as tabletop game design goes, work on round 10 has taken a notable drop in activity. I sent out a number of copies of the Round 10 core rulebook in its updated format to people who signed up to be a beta reader of the system, to read through that version of the core rulebook and send me back their notes. Not editing or grammar or not playtesting, just an idea for how the book flows from start to finish, if it all makes sense and if it all read well. And the amount of feedback I got was staggeringly small, despite the offers that I sent forth about getting it at a publisher's price for the print copy, which would be whatever it costs to publish the book. They wouldn't have to pay any additional costs at all, just pay for publishing or for production and for shipping. So they'd be getting it at probably 50% of the total price, which was, I thought, an incredible value. But unfortunately, the amount of feedback that I got was pretty low. And since that, it has been difficult to find the inspiration to continue. However, I have. Right now, the core rulebook is sent to the printers, and it is literally in the absolute final stages. A lot of content has been added as far as tips for game masters, additional resources and stuff like that, but then also a lot of content, or not a lot, but some content has been stripped away as far as resources for outside of just character items and outside of certain timelines. So like the steampunk and the futuristic ships that I had in the original digital version of the rulebook have been removed. Those will be added to the website as free downloads, so free peripherals. So you still have access to those, they're just not going to be in the printed book. My apologies for that, but I wanted to get the book to a point where I felt good about it and felt good about submitting it to the printing place. As far as print on demand goes, RPG Now their interface has been difficult to deal with, and the program Scribus that they recommend using has been it's been very difficult doing an entire 218-page manuscript with illustrations and having it run on my computer decently when I'm just trying to make minor edits here and there in it. I don't know if I'm just not doing it right, or if my computer really is that bad at processing, but it's been very difficult to do. So unfortunately, I will not be going through RPG Now for print on demand. It will be going through Lulu.com, which is what I did for the print proof a couple months ago. What this means is that the quality, I already know that Lulu's print quality is exceptional. It's very nice. However, unfortunately, to keep costs low, the interior of the book will be black and white. So a lot of that wonderful artwork that Ramon did for me and for the core rulebook that was in color will be featured in black and white. It's regrettable that this has to happen, or that this is happening, but at least it's something that I can keep in mind going forward if I do decide to do any further print-on-demand items. Keeping that in mind, When it comes to developing for round 10, I have decided that I will not pursue print on demand unless a product becomes specifically popular, a lot more popular than anything yet. Print on demand, while it is very nice to hold the physical copy in your hand and have it right there, especially for me as the creator, print on demand does not seem to be worth the time and effort that I have to put into it in order to prepare a document for print on demand. So everything from now on will be solely digital unless that product does exceedingly well in downloads and in price, or in downloads and in sales, and then I might consider doing a print-on-demand version of it, maybe a larger version or something like that, depending on what the product is. As far as the nature of products going forward, again, the vast majority of them will be available as free downloads. So that means once you buy the core rules, whether as a PDF or as a hard copy, all the other peripherals will be free, whether they're additional resources as far as additional weapon designs, ships and vehicles that you can adapt round 10 to different settings and time eras, or whether it's stuff like adventure modules and items like that, or setting source books. They will be free to download. This means a couple things. One, it means there will be less illustrations, other than maybe a cover illustration and one or two in the book. There will be less illustrations, less diagrams, lowered production cost, and lowered production time. So the idea is that I can get more out more frequently and just at least get the gears going again when it comes to round 10 gaming. So to start that off, I have decided to release 3 simultaneous adventures. They're standalone adventure modules. They're not out yet, but they will be by the end of the summer. And each one will feature a vastly different genre and setting. One of them will be set in the setting that I've been proposing for over a couple years now, called Zimmeldron, which is the low fantasy dinosaur setting. One of them will be set in the Atlas Sector, which is a science fiction space fantasy setting, and one of them will be set in just kind of a general modern day horror scenario setting. So those 3 will be available for free. You can download them, you can experience them however you want, read through them, play them, do whatever you want with them. They're absolutely free. And then shortly after they're all released, there will be a poll on the Round 10 website and also on the Round 10 Facebook page that will basically have those 3 options on there, and people can vote on which ones they like best. Now, I don't expect to get a whole lot of votes, maybe in the teens, because honestly, Round 10's audience isn't that big right now. But whichever one has the most amount of votes after a certain amount of time, that will be the next source book that I work on. So while I do have a lot of work ready to go for Zimmeldron, I want to make sure that I'm doing something that people want. And so even if there's only a few fans out there of Round 10 right now, I want to make sure that I'm making source books that you, as the fans, want to see. Yeah, so I'm kind of just getting back to the bases with Round 10 and kind of starting over. I think I shot a little too high and was riding the popularity of Round 10 after the Kickstarter projects, even though those were failed projects. But then that popularity very quickly diminished as nothing happened and as it took me longer and longer to get the product out. So now my goal is just to get it out there and to get more and more product out there as I can, and then just hopefully build that back up slowly over the course of the next year or two. If you have any feedback on Round 10, please send an email to support@round10rpg.com. I read everything sent there, and I do respond to anything that I can. So, and then as far as my published fiction goes, today is Tuesday the 17th, and that means that it is the day that Episode 2 of my serialized science fiction story called Cybersaurus: The Awakening has been published. You can pick up episodes 1 and 2 from Amazon for only 99 cents. You can pick them up from the Corey Stories website for 99 cents. That's nicholascorey.squarespace.com. The link you will be able to find on my blog here. But not only that, if you sign up for my mailing list, if you go to the Corey Stories website and sign up, click the Join the Readers tab on the top and sign up to be on the mailing list, you'll get episode 1 for free as a free download. So it's definitely, if you're interested in reading about this science fiction story that has to do with dinosaurs in the future and capitalist America and stuff like that, it would be very, very wise of you to sign up on the mailing list, get that free episode 1, and then pay only 99 cents to get episode 2, so you get the first 2 episodes for the price of 1. I'm planning on doing 6 episodes, and so they'll be released every 2 weeks, and then I might take a few weeks off while I set up either for Season 2 of Cybersaurus or for a season of another story. I guess it all depends on how Cybersaurus is received and how the gears are turning for something else, and then also how my work for Round 10 is going. So I'm absolutely busy right now. Again, trying to get back to the bases. Rather than marketing and talking about my work, I am doing the work and getting it available. And then once I have an adequate library, both for Round 10 and for my published fiction, then I'll actually start kicking the marketing into high gear and talking about it on social networks a lot more than I have been, as well as building up this blog. So that's kind of where I am at and where I've been and where I'm going. If you have any questions or comments, please post them to this video post here. I read the comments on my blog daily, so yeah, I will definitely respond to anything I can. If you have any questions about the Round 10 system, again, you can email me at support@round10rpg.com. And if you have any questions about my fiction, you can email my author website at Nicholas Kory, that's NicholasKory, @gmail.com. And I look forward to any correspondence that you send to either of those. If you have read either of my Cybersaurus episodes, I would love it if you would go onto Amazon and write a review and rate it. That's something that I really need right now, are ratings and reviews. Otherwise, they're just going to kind of sit there and not get noticed. So the more ratings and reviews I get, the better. I might even offer review copies coming up here. Maybe when episode 3 releases, I might offer review copies of 1 and 2. So basically, you get a copy for free as long as you write a review of it on Amazon.com when you're done reading it. So yeah, that's pretty much where everything is at. I hope that everything has been going great with you, the reader/viewer. Again, I apologize for not getting onto experience points too often, but I've had a lot going on, including another play that I'm doing, and then also spending time with some new additions to my family. So anyway, I love you all. Thank you very much for reading and listening and sticking with me throughout all of the downtime as well as all of the uptime. Thank you for reading what I post. Thank you for liking what I post, and thank you for watching my videos. And I look forward to continued updates from here on out. The more the merrier. So yeah, I guess I'll catch you on the flip side.